I didn't really had any idea what video to make, so here we are. So yeah, as the title of this video suggests, I ran out of topics to talk about on my channel. So after thinking a lot, I came up to the brilliant idea of making an Iron Man armors tier list. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And just a heads up, I'm not going to add any of the Iron Man's Iron Legion armors from Iron Man 3. Like there were a lot of armors introduced and they were mostly like background stuff. So I'm not going to be introducing them because it's probably going to take a long time. So, yeah, let's get on with this video, starting with the first Iron Man Armor Mark 1. This is this guy over here. And yeah, this one is kind of interesting because this is the first time we actually get to see him. And this definitely has a special place in my heart, and I'm going to like put him somewhere, maybe. Yeah, I think B tier sounds fine. And also another heads up, I'm not making this tier video based on how strong an Iron Man armor is. It's based on how much like sentiment you have towards an Iron Man's armor. You know, like how much you love the Iron Man armor, or how cool it looks, or what role and how much screen presence it had. So it's based on that. So it's not like which armor is strong, because then it would be obvious which armor is the strongest, because you would go from like the last video Iron Man appeared in, which would be Endgame, and then you would just go down from there. So and until you would come down to this armor, and this armor would be like on tier F because it would be the weakest armor. So no, this is not that. This is like a sentimental video of Iron Man armors, because we've lost Tony Stark, and I'm making this video now, I think 2 or 3 years after Endgame. So yeah, Iron Man is definitely my favorite superhero. So yeah, I really love his armors as well. Moving on, Mark 1. So this one was really cool as well. It definitely had a really awesome flying sequence. It wasn't there for too long, but yeah, it was really cool to see it. I'm going to put it on. I think it's on C. I don't really think it was that cool. This one I liked it. It was the first time we saw it. This one we didn't really see it too much. And then this is again from the first movie. And I'm putting it on S tier, and there's a good reason for that. If you just go and watch the first Iron Man movie, the scene where Iron Man goes and he fights the terrorist, that scene, like, it feels so great. It almost feels like you're playing a video game. The sound effects of him moving, the tactile feeling of like that sounds he makes when he walks, and that gritty feeling on armor, like the chipped off paint that he has, like it felt so realistic. Like it is one of the best looking, not just looking, but best feeling armors. And again, if you haven't watched the video where Iron Man goes and fights the terrorist, it's definitely a video you have to watch again, because it was really nice. Now let's talk about Mark 4. This is Mark 4, disappeared first time in Iron Man 2. And honestly, not a big fan of this armor. This armor basically got destroyed when he fought with Obadiah Stane at the end of the first movie. And this is technically the same armor, just a little bit upgraded. But yeah, not a big, huge fan of this thing. So I'm going to just place it down over there. Like they didn't really innovate it too much in the second movie. And this is Mark 5 armor, and I kind of like this armor. So I'm going to like place it in the B version. A lot of people didn't like it because they thought that it took really long for Iron Man to like put on this armor, but I liked it. I think it looked really nice. It looked really mobile and advanced at the time. But yeah, it definitely has a special place in my heart. Yeah, so this is Mark 6. Again, not a big fan of this armor. This is the same as Mark 4, just with a triangular arc reactor. So yeah, I'm going to put it in the C category. Not not too many innovation happening here. So again, not a big fan of this. Again, like I'm just gonna put it down there. not a big fan of this thing. Now we have this armor from the Avengers movie, and I kind of liked it. Again, like I think it looks really nice, and it looked like the classic Iron Man armor. Like it looks like the classic Iron Man armor. I mean, this one looks like the classic Iron Man armor as well, but this one has like these really cool. Let me just make it larger. Yeah, so these cool shoulder things. So yeah, that's why it looks really nice. So that's why it goes on the A tier. And now we have this armor mark, I think 42. We took a big jump. I think this was mark 8 or something, and now this is mark 42. And a lot of people don't like this armor, and I kind of don't like this armor as well, because this armor didn't really had anything to do much in Iron Man 3, but I think this armor had a great concept behind it. Like it felt really advanced at the time, like how the different parts of Iron Man armor would fly to Tony Stark, and it felt really nice. So I'm going to put it into the B category, just because it looks really nice, and the gold on all over the armor looks really nice as well. Now this is Mark 43, and I think this is from Avengers Age of Ultron, the first armor he would wear in Age of Ultron. And honestly, not a big fan of this armor, to be honest. It's been a long time since I watched it, Age of Ultron, so maybe my mind will change after I watch it, but it does look really nice. But other than that, I don't think any innovation is happening too much when it comes to the armor. It kind of looks the same as the armors before him. So yeah, I'm not really sure where to put him. I might put him here. Yeah, this feels right. Now we get to okay, big boy. This is Mark 44, I think, right? Yeah, this is Mark 44, and boy, I was like a kid, I was a kid back then when I first watched this movie, and man, this was the best thing I had ever seen. This is Mark 44. This is Hulkbuster. This is Iron Man going toe to toe fighting against Hulk, and the best thing about this armor was that it could like get spare parts, as if Hulk would destroy a certain part of his armor, spare parts would come to him, and that, man, like that felt really awesome. That was an amazing fight. So yeah, I really love this thing. So this definitely goes into the S tier. Love this armor, really love this armor. And now we come to this armor. This is, I think, from the same movie, Age of Ultron. I don't know why, like they always give Iron Man 3 different armors in the same movie. Always, maybe this is a formula or something. But yeah, this is Mark 45, and this looks really nice. Again, it's been a while since I watched Age of Ultron, but just from like looking at it visually, it looks really nice. So I'm going to put it in B tier, just because like it just gets some pity points, because yeah, it gets some pity points just because it looks really cool. I'm going to put it there. Now people, we have Mark 46 from Captain America Civil War. This is also one of my favorite, goddamned favorite armors of all time. The Iron Man helmet would just, pop in and out. That, man, that felt really nice, and it looks really nice and slick as well. And it also has like these tiny mini arc reactors throughout the entire armor, and those tiny arc reactors just give this armor really big boost in strength and power. So yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite armors, so it definitely goes to S tier for sure. Now we have literally the same armor from Spider-Man Homecoming. So yeah, this is literally the same armor, just with like some silver parts showing through. Maybe it didn't get a proper paint job, but yeah, I mean, it's the same armor. I could either put it over there or I could put it over here. And I'm going to put this thing over here just because it's just a throwaway kind of armor. They weren't really serious about this thing. They just took the same model and just like repainted it. So I'm putting it here. Now people, we are getting to one of my most favorite Iron Man armors. It is Mark 50. And man, this definitely goes in S tier. This was the armor that we saw in Infinity War. This is definitely the best utilized armor, and by utilized I mean we get to see Iron Man actually use this armor and go toe to toe with Thanos, and we just get to see this armor in use a lot. Like it gets a lot of beating and it can also regenerate, and man, like this is, I can't even explain how stupid awesome this armor is. There are some videos on YouTube that you can just go and watch Iron Man versus Thanos, and man, those are one of the best fights ever in Marvel Cinematic Universe. Iron Man going toe to toe against Thanos. That was just absolute best. And now we have Mark 85, and we went from, like, we took a big jump. It was Mark 50 and now we have Mark 85, and this is from Endgame, and to be honest, not a big fan of it. I mean, visually it looks nice, but remember, this video that I'm making is like based more on what impression an armor left on me, and this armor, like, it wasn't really, like, Iron Man didn't really get too much screen time in Endgame, so yeah, he didn't really fight with Thanos too much. It was just a quick blow and Iron Man gets unconscious, and that was about it. So we don't really get to see this armor being used too much. So I'm not sure, man. Like, I'm going to put it in C category. I was thinking of putting it way down, but that's where I'm going to put it. And if you've noticed by now, we have a secret armor. Not a secret because it was over here all the time. You could see it, but yeah, we have a newcomer. We have Iron Heart armor, and this goes into S tier. Hell no, hell no. It goes way down. It goes way down. Like, it just goes down, like, just disappears. Like, it does, it should not be allowed to exist. And yeah, like, you know where this was going. The reason why I don't like Iron Heart armor is because she is supposed to succeed Iron Man, and her armor does not in any way, shape or form look like Iron Man. So is she supposed to be her own character? If she's supposed to be her own character, then why give her like Iron Heart name? Like, she's supposed to succeed Tony Stark. Like, she barely even knows Tony Stark. I think she doesn't even mention him in the movie. So yeah, I think her connection with Tony Stark is just in name only, and her armor definitely shows that visually. She has nothing in common with Iron Man. But yeah, that's my tier list of Iron Man armors. But again, if I have to put a tier list on these guys, I would definitely pick this to be my favorite, and then this would be the later one. No, like, it's really hard to pick one. But yeah, if I have to like lose one of them, I would put this one down. But yeah, like, these three are definitely the best armors ever. But yeah, like, Hulkbuster can go up there because he's really cool as well. But yeah, like, I can't even pick an armor between these three guys because it's just really, really beautiful armors. But yeah, that's my tier list. Those are my opinions. But you guys can let me know what you guys think. What's your favorite Iron Man armor? And yeah, let me know in the comments down below. And for now, as always, it's time for a goodbye.